Hi everyone, welcome back to our TerraTech Worlds stream once again. I can already see some people in the chat. Fantastic, nice to see you here. We do already have a question about TerraTech. This is a TerraTech Worlds stream, so we're not answering TerraTech questions. But if you do have TerraTech Worlds questions, I have a designer with me. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name's Lewis. I am a designer currently on TerraTech Worlds, and I'm going to be showing off some environmental hazards for you today, which is something that the original TerraTech doesn't really have, and so we wanted to incorporate some more interesting environments / things that you have to worry about.
Yeah, so some people spotted some of them last stream, like an angry plant, and we've seen some things on Instagram, and we touched on mud briefly, but we're going to be going into them in much more detail today. So, shall we? And feel free to ask any questions you have. We'll be answering them as we go along. But mostly we just want to show off, as we said, hazards. So if we return to game, or do we want to do that? I don't remember what you usually do.
This one first.
Great. This one? Okay.
Yeah. So, we're at the familiar beach that I've seen there's been on quite a few streams up till this point. We have...
Oh, sorry, before you get started, quick important reminder that we say on every stream, development in progress. We are showing you a sneak peek. A lot of what you're going to see here is very likely to change in the final game, like visual-wise and some mechanics-wise, but we want to take you on the journey. Yes, TerraTech Worlds is a separate game that needs to be purchased separately. But yeah, constant reminder, we're showing you stuff. It's early. We have no release date to share yet, so subject to change, and I'm going to be saying this repeatedly just for our peace of mind.
I'm still very much working on this stuff now, but we have the basic functionality which we can show you now. So the first one,
my favorite,
which I wish to show you, is we are dubbing this the puffball plant, which has some pretty fun effects when driven into. For starters, if I drive into one of them, you'll see I'm knocked away.
And a quick note, as we were saying, the water and the sea is being worked on currently, which is why it looks a little different from last time you saw it. Obviously, it will look like water in the game. But like we said, we're kind of showing you behind the scenes. So that's why you're seeing some of what this looks like in development.
So no, it's not chess confirmed for TerraTech Worlds.
I mean, we're on an alien planet. Water could look different.
So as me driving close to this puffball, as you saw, knocked me back. This is the same thing for enemies as well. So if you can lure an enemy into this, I will try and demonstrate that in a second if I can get it to, because the enemies do try and avoid these, just like you should be as well when you play the game. But also the fun part is that when you shoot these, they're also activated, so if you can lure an enemy in and then shoot them while this goes off, you will be able to send them flying.
Did it just as well destroy some of the...
Yeah, so they do a little bit of damage around them as well. So when I get knocked back, you can see there's a flash and I'm taking some damage.
Quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, so we have the collision damage to worry about as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll try and display that after I've talked about the mud quickly. Because...
Someone said, is it possible to build a tech that would be heavy enough that it wouldn't get thrown? Yeah,
so right now, the knockback is physics-based. So if you have a heavier tech, you will not be sent back as far as if you are using just a small tech like I am.
That's really cool.
So yeah, heavier tech is good, but...
For this? But maybe not for other things.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're going to need to pick and choose which things you want to have a play around with.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I personally think it's very fun to go flying through the air, but not so much to take enough damage that my entire
Well, I thought it would be funny because it will work on your friends too.
So I shoot it on my friends in the air.
Exactly. So if you want to have some fun that way, and I don't know, maybe you won't be friends anymore after you do that, but that's up to you. So we have the first of our terrain layer hazards here in mud. So if I get a run up here so that I get some speed, you'll notice how much I'm slowed by as soon as I hit the mud.
Yeah.
And not only am I being ridiculously slowed, I'm also being dragged to the right and left here as well.
Yeah. It's one of those things we've said before that you feel it a lot more than you see it as well. Like when you're playing it, it very much feels like, well, I was going to say treacle, but mud. It feels like mud.
So you'll have to, again, enemies and other techs are interrupted by this as well. So you'll also have to, you can, I don't know, maybe if you wanted to, for a combat application, is hit an enemy with a puffball plant into the mud, and then now they're stuck, and you've got a much better position during combat with them. So these are the types of things we've been thinking about when trying to incorporate environmental hazards in this way.
Yeah.
Just to give you more fun things to play with that isn't just using big guns to shoot at enemies.
Yeah. Someone asked if it will release on PS4. Currently, initially, the release is going to be PC, and then we'll look more to that in the future. Someone else asked when the playtest is going to be. Currently, no ETA to give you. If you sign up to our mailing list on TerraTechWorlds.com, I promise you will be the first to hear. And finally, back for you, will there or might there be mud tyres that might lessen or prevent some of those effects?
So, yes, there is another system that I'm working on. I won't go too much into it, but there is...
Tyres can...
Yes.
Yeah, you can upgrade
So
your
there will
tyres.
be blocks and things that we can provide the player with to mitigate some of these issues, and specifically for some of these hazards, and have some cool interactions and things like that when you're using these blocks. And I was hoping that this enemy would drive near this puffball plant, but it's just not going to do it because they're avoiding it. So I'm sure we'll get one by the end of the stream.
Yeah, it's kind of rock, paper, scissors, where like so you have an advantage, but then obviously a disadvantage somewhere else. So it's all kind of quite neat. I like the puffballs. I think they're super fun. And especially, as you can see, they tend to be near. Do they tend to be near mud? That one was near mud anyway.
Yeah, so they'll spawn around mud, and they also, not on this build, but they will also spawn around resources as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to go and try and do some mining, you now need to be careful with your mining, because you all of a sudden might be sent flying. So.
Yeah, get thrown about. There's a lot of AI out today.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go. So there's an
beautiful.
example of the things you can do. So now I've sent that enemy tumbling over, and I have complete advantage for combat.
That's a moment to clip.
So I'm just moving into our next hazard.
The next location on our tour of TerraTech Worlds. Yeah, so someone says they're very much looking forward to it.
This might be the furthest people have been into the biome at this point,
I think it will be, yeah. We are showing a lot more than we have done. First stream, we're mostly just block building. Second stream was more of an artistic look. But now we're actually getting in and showing more in-depth. Amazing. It's so satisfying as well. You get to raise the other one as well.
Yeah, so he got completely crumpled. That's just a cab sitting there now by itself.
Yeah. We will be showing combat in a stream of its own later as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun bits there to play with, so I'll leave that to the people who are more well versed in it. So,
and what are these?
So we've reached the next point, which is dubbed as the needleberry plant. So these are carnivorous plants. You're not an organic thing, but they still just don't like you being in their area.
Style.
So they will instantly turn and shoot at you.
Yeah.
Now, one of these by themselves is not really too much of an issue, and I'm avoiding being shot at right now, but I'm going to deliberately die. There you go. And you see, I took a lot of damage straight away there. If we quickly switch over to the close-up for now, I'm just doing...
Some secret design
Oh yeah,
things.
I'm doing secret things.
Yeah.
So no one else can see these.
But yeah, like all the hazards in the game, it feels very easy when you're just driving around and you see them. But then the minute you're like in combat, you're trying to get a resource, it's so easy to accidentally like not notice them or like drive into them or something.
So these are destructible as well. So if you want to destroy them, you can. And these also, again, I can try and demonstrate it at some point during the stream, but these also target the closest entity to them.
Right.
So again, there's some applications there if you want to drag an enemy tech into a field of these, and then you
ambush them.
Exactly, and you can do it that way. So, but yeah, you can see all the different interactions and the things that you can play around with more and more, and it's more when you incorporate all of these things together at the same time, some of the interesting things that can happen, and it will make you think a lot more about how you approach each combat encounter now, rather than just and
like
exploration as well.
multiple parts to start thinking about, less just gun on gun action. Oh, gun on flower on gun, I guess, or plant. I like these guys. And what's quite interesting that we're going to see a bit later on is that we have maybe different versions for different places.
Yes, so I will be showing that in a second, but you're seeing the starter versions of these and what they could possibly turn into.
This is a nice biome, this is a starter biome. We want you to find it easier to survive here. Yeah,
so you can see it in the background already a little bit, the next one that I'm going to be talking about.
That's good timing.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do some secret behind the scenes things again. So if you bear with me.
Just close from the face and stuff. Ooh, someone might have noticed what it is that we're heading towards. Victory Guardian.
So we're at the tail end of one now.
Yeah.
But I can always
bring one back.
Yeah, bring another one back. So you just saw a storm event. So if you can see, the clouds are coming up now. Yeah. And we've got some rain. So you've got a lot of warning that this is happening.
Yeah,
and
if you're paying attention.
Yeah, and this is probably about the time when, usually if you were playing, you would want to try and seek some shelter somewhere or hide.
Or just try and outdrive it.
Yeah, because these lightning strikes, now, if you can see, I'm being warned that there's now lightning coming and hitting me. And because my tech is made of metal, it will snap to my tech's location. Right. So me standing out in an open field like this, I'm gonna get completely bombarded with these. It's dangerous.
Yes.
But this is another thing that we're looking at, as I won't be showing any more of these types of events later on, but we will have different storm events that are not just lightning. They will have differing things that are going on.
That's all we're gonna.
Yeah, but I'll save that.
We don't have to give everything away all at once. We have a lot more streams on the horizon. I think the storm's really cool.
Yeah, the effects are super cool that we've got going on at the moment.
I like the way it all gets dark beforehand. It really feels like, I don't know if you're ever at home and you suddenly why does it suddenly feel like the middle of the night? And it's the same kind of vibe.
So I'm now trapped, and apparently my tech is still functional like this, which is
as long as you've got wheels.
Yeah.
The attack. Instead, will there be big differences in wheel sizes? You can get different sizes of wheels. Yeah.
Some of that was demonstrated when you were building in one of the other streams, right? Yeah.
So there will be differences. In terms of exact differences, we're not getting super into these yet.
2 seconds. I'm going to have to reset. So
there are a lot of different mechanics that are possible. So there's a lot. And as we always say as well, if you guys have suggestions, if there's things that you want to see or you like the look of or you think will be good or bad, let us know, because part of the reason why we do these streams and show you stuff as we're working on it is so we can get community feedback on it. So
yeah, I'd really like to see what people think, and also if people have any ideas of things that they think would be interesting to be in the environment, I can definitely take it on.
Yeah, can't promise anything, but we do read and acknowledge and find interest in all community feedback, so it's always very good. Just setting up for the next location on the tour.
I get to reveal. Yeah, I get to reveal another biome.
Yeah,
to
so we've seen
everyone.
this from above. We stood on a hill and looked at it last time, but we didn't go in it like we're about to.
Yes, so there we go. This is the swamp.
Yes.
So you'll notice straight away that we have smaller puffball plants.
Also, it's very steamy.
Yes, very misty, yeah. Oh, you can see the hazards interacting
Already
with each other
so
there,
much
yeah.
more dangerous as well.
So I will do my best to not die here because you shouldn't really be using a starter tech
Yeah.
by the time you get to
Yeah.
the swamp. You should probably have more blocks to deal with and some
It's
more.
like you wandered into the wrong neighborhood with this tech.
Yeah, so as you can see, we've got smaller puffball plants here which have a much more diminished effect. However, they have the added extra that if they are near enough to each other, it's really misty.
Steaming.
So you'll have less visibility here as well.
Yes.
They actually have the ability to set each other off. So I will demonstrate this in a different area
Let's
in a
fucking-
second. We have, as well, corrosive pores. So this looks like bad stuff
Yeah.
because it is bad stuff.
It's orange and it has bubbles, which feels like warning signs.
Yeah, so if I drive into this, I'm taking damage, my wheels are not liking it, and I'm gonna try it. I'm being slowed down.
Also being shot.
Yeah.
Everything.
So this is the lowlands area of the biome, which is a lot more unsafe. So you can see the variations of the needleberries here, which
yeah,
is shooting.
they do not want you there.
Yeah, they're shooting a lot more of these pellets at me as
Yeah.
well. If I get super close to one, I'm going to take a chunk of damage again. And this is the area where
It's
you're
so
not.
foggy.
Yeah,
Oh, here we are. This
you're
is
not
cleared
going to be
out a
able to
bit.
spend as much time here as
Kind of
there.
a getting
Yeah.
get what you need, get out kind of place.
There are some other things that are being worked on for this biome, which I won't go into at the moment. But the safer areas are the highlands areas up here.
Yeah, but like we were talking before about different variations, you mentioned the puffball as well, the needleberries, like they shoot more. And I think the bullets are going to look a little different.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're going to look a little bit more like organic in nature rather than being like they look like little
Yeah.
fireballs at the moment. But yeah, they'll have like more like green needly sort of textures to them.
Yeah.
Right, so this is the highlands areas. So I'm a lot
Yeah.
more safer, relaxed.
Yes.
Not everything's trying to kill me all the time. However, there won't be as many rare things up here.
Yeah.
But if I want to build a base up here and then take some trips, some expeditions into the lowlands to go and find things and explore, then that is my recommendation as to what you could do. You could try
Yeah.
and build a base in the lowlands areas. I don't know how it would go.
Yeah,
but
it's like a nice holiday home kind of place.
yeah. I mentioned before about the puffball plants being together. If I drive into a field of them,
Yeah.
then it's like a little minefield of me being hit. Yeah, so I only really have, I think, one more to show you,
That's good timing because we are almost done.
which I'm going to have to do some magic-y stuff again.
Okay. I'm just switch. Will there be different enemy spawns in the lowlands? That's something to talk about. Enemies are things that we want to save to go into more detail about in a future stream, especially because Lewis is our hazards guy, so I don't want to start throwing questions. Like, Lewis is here specifically because he works on the hazards, so I don't want to start throwing questions at people that, not as much of a specialty. But if you have hazards questions, environmental questions, love to hear them.
Yeah, I'll try and answer any questions if anyone has any questions in the Discord as well. I'll keep an eye on it as well, and I will try and answer what I can.
Well, what we're going to do at some point next month is have a Q&A on our Discord where everyone can submit questions. So if you're not on our Discord, that is something that we will be looking to do in the future. So this isn't the only opportunity to ask questions. It's just one opportunity to ask questions.
Yeah, so you're seeing the final thing that I'm going to show you.
Yes.
I'm not going to give too much information on this because I feel like we should leave some stuff
Yes.
for when people play the game, right?
Yeah, you want to know what you're getting into.
Yeah, so I'm not going to explain what this does, but we have a cool fog effect that's going off.
Yes.
And if I drive through this fog, things are happening, and it leaves a trail.
Yeah. Again, reminder, development.
Yeah. This
Subject to change, big flashing message.
Yeah, so again, I feel like I'm not going to explain what
No.
this is at the moment. I will wait, and maybe a little bit later on down the line I'll explain, because, you know, we can't show everything.
Sneak peek of a sneak peek.
But yeah, so this is an idea of all of our thought process. Oh, actually, there is one more thing. I just remembered, there is one more thing in this biome. It's dubbed the mushroom mine.
Ooh, oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So these
There's
are,
just so much danger.
yeah,
keep track
this
of.
biome is not your friend at
No.
all. We have, there they are. So
Yeah.
bang. You probably couldn't even see what I got hit by due to the mist and my
Mm-hmm.
visibility, but we have, if I try and point them out, very small little mines here.
Yeah, they're so easy to miss.
They will hopefully stand out a bit more, but if we,
Yeah.
why don't I just end the stream by just blowing up? There you go, look, there you go.
There you go.
So, so yeah, swamp biome,
Yeah, that's
not
a
your
swamp
friend.
biome. Good luck in there. Although again, we are going in these places with a starter tech. Hopefully people have upgraded a little bit by the time you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
there.
you'll definitely have a bigger tech and maybe some
Yeah,
armor or cooler things.
and friends, hopefully, to
Yes.
cannon fodder.
Well, yeah, just hide. Yeah, that's an idea. You can
Send
use
them in
that.
first. They can show you where the dangers are, and then just like find the safe route behind them. But yeah, so that was it. That was our hazard stream. Thank you for joining us. We're not streaming next week, but we will be streaming the week after, and follow all of our socials if you want to know in advance what the topic is going to be. We're at TerraTech Worlds on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and we have a TerraTech Worlds channel and a TerraTech Discord, and we have our mailing list. So there are multiple ways to find out all about what we're doing. Thank you for joining us and showing off our hazards.
It was fun. I've been working on them for long enough. It's cool to show
Yes.
them off, finally.
Cool. And we will see you all in 2 weeks. Bye.